Who has the best food in Europe?
I think either France or Italy. I would last time I went to Italy, I would eat 2 dinners sometimes. It was so good. But I don't know.
Yeah, those would be the stereotypical ones.
Yeah.
Like I could see like not eating in Germany because you're about to hit up Italy. Like,
yeah.
no, we're not pulling off in Germany. We're going to northern Italy.
Don't fill up on schnitzel. What do you think?
Don't fill up on nonsense. Don't fill up on rotten carp here in Norway. There's pasta in Italy.
Anywhere that ferments fish or does anything like that, it's a no-go for me. All those Scandinavian countries that eat those disgusting pickled fish products and such.
Yeah.
Not sure
regional food
about.
like that, there's a reason it didn't break free of that regional constraint. Like rotten fish, stored in whale blubber that like Norwegians eat and would swear up and down that it's good. Like there's a reason that didn't have the legs that pizza did. Pizza's worldwide because it's awesome. It's incredible. It's a great food. Pasta conquers every land it arrives in. But rotten fish? Fuck no. And like the Anthony Bourdain type people will be like, oh, I'm gonna go have a bucket of maggots in fucking Somalia, and like, oh, there's a little cumin on it. Oh, you guys don't even get it. And it's like, no, there's a reason that like if you went 5 villages over, they'd be like, that is disgusting. Like they wouldn't even fuck with it because
You must eat the beef lava.
Yeah, like it's just
lava.
It's gross. Like
I feel like Taylor's going full Lizzo or something on us. Like pizza's good. What was the other you said was pasta was good? Yeah, of course they're good. They're just fucking empty carbs and bullshit. And then they're like this other thing that is like, I don't know, fish, raw fish, which is probably good for you. That sucks. It will never escape that country.
Well, no, because sushi is great. Sushi's raw fish, and that explodes everywhere.
Everybody's wrong.
No, you're insane. Sushi's delicious.
I am insane, but that doesn't make sushi good.
Don't you live in the middle of the country, Woody?
North Carolina, home of the best sushi in North Carolina.
I live in Missouri. We have awful sushi, and I still eat it. Like,
we have pretty good sushi over here.
Are you in California?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah.
But
I've tried a lot. I've tried a lot of sushi. Everyone's like, have you tried California roll? That's the beginner one.
Fuck a California roll. What?
I've tried them all. I've tried the tuna roll, the California roll. I've tried octopus.
Have you tried deep fried cum? Because I've had that.
Well, yeah, I make it myself. That's why I got on the lock and load in the first place.
I was getting hungry.
I like nigiri a lot. I think that's how you pronounce it. When you just got like a piece of raw fish on like the little dollop of rice and just put a little soy sauce on a little.
Or the sashimi where it's just the raw meat.
I want a little rice there, and I like the the seaweed paper or whatever it is too. That rice paper stuff.
Nori.
I like that shit too. I don't know. I like sushi, but it does have to be good. I used to eat Kroger sushi, like grocery store sushi, and not worry about it. But I've gotten food poisoning too many times. I can't do that shit anymore. I'm tired of shitting blood. Gotta stop.
Dude, you were eating disgusting California rolls if you were shitting blood because there's nothing real in there. That's like it's like imitation crab and rice and.
I don't get the California rolls though. I usually get spicy tuna. I really like the tuna. And like I said, if it's a restaurant, I get, is it nigiri or nigiri? You would think nigiri.
I think it's nigiri.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know, but that is the good one. That's when it's just the meat on top of the rice. But yeah, like sushi rocks. You're definitely in the minority here, Woody. Like sushi exploded because it's really good. Surströmming, which is the fermented fish in, I think, oil in Sweden or whatever, that like they make people eat on YouTube as a punishment in like reality shows. Like there's a reason stuff like that doesn't take off. And I bet they still only sell it because people like in Norway are like, we have to, stick with our culture. And they're like driving past pizza places to try and, convince themselves to eat their nasty ass Norwegian food.
Have you ever had it? It sounds like anchovies, which are awesome.
I've had anchovies, and anchovies are not bad at all. But I've never had surströmming, but I've watched
anchovies make a good garnish or a good topping.
When I've opened anchovies, I'm not like, like these people are like gagging when they open these cans because it's literally rotten. Yeah.
Yeah. Anchovies deserve more hate. Everyone hates pineapples on pizza, and pineapples on pizza are actually pretty good. Adds a little tang to it. People who hate pineapples on pizza only do so because the internet told them to do so.
Jalapenos and pineapples. That's how I like it, baby.
Oh,
And anchovies, on the other hand, they earn their dislike. Focus your lasers on them.
I'm bringing anchovies back. I'm going to come into a pizza place with a little can of anchovies and crack it and clear the whole restaurant. Enjoy myself in peace.
I think that you wear the crown around here as far as embarrassing poop experiences go. However, this week, actually, yes, today, I read about a way more embarrassing poop experience. So
really?
There was a flight
man.
There was a Delta flight, I think, to Barcelona, maybe out of Atlanta. In any case, someone shit themselves in their seat, it seems, and then got up and thought, oh, let me make it to the bathroom, and continued to shit themselves as they ran the length of the aircraft. It's a big boy aircraft, by the way. We're going to Italy or whatever, Barcelona, Spain. It isn't a small plane. So it's this person's jogging for a while, shitting as they go.
Are
everywhere.
they fat?
Oh.
The quote was, the passenger, quote, had diarrhea throughout the aircraft, which created a biohazard and a threat to the passenger's health. So they turned around 2 hours into the flight, came back, and they had to clean the aircraft, everybody to get off, new plane for everybody. Who knows what happened to the flight? But here's
I am opening that door and jumping out. I'm just
so embarrassing.
Just leave. Just gonna
for 2 hours after the incident. Yeah, at some point the captain goes, it turns out one of y'all shit themselves back there. We're going to be heading on back to Atlanta. How do you say, sorry, I shit myself in Spanish? Am I right? All right.
That's something none of you are going to need to know today.
And then everybody who's already smelling your shit and is like freaked out because you scared their kids while you shit the plane, and everybody freaked out. Now they're looking at you like, you've ruined my vacation. I have exactly 8 days off from work. Who knows?
Maybe so, but when I turn the plane around, I feel like I got my money's worth.
How many more hours would you have to sit in a shit-laden plane? Like,
it must have happened right at the start of the flight. Because if it's like a 6-hour flight and I'm 2 hours in, I might be inclined to go the 4.
Honestly,
take a vote.
I'd rather just tear through it. If it's a 6-hour flight and you're 2 hours in, that's cruel to turn it around. You're already in the mix.
Give me that mortician stuff that they put on their nose, like in Silence of the Lambs for dead bodies. Just hand it out. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. They could at least make snacks, or I guess you probably wouldn't want to eat.
I think their point would be that it's like
the worst idea. Just feed everyone on the biohazard plane.
There will be
free
no
red wine for the plane.
I'm gonna let you know there's not gonna be an in-flight meal.
We're gonna hope that the cumulative red wine breath covers
what would be the worst food? Just like pecan pie,
goulash,
curry.
For dinner this evening, we have a lovely goulash with a chocolate pudding.
Did they get a picture of the person who did this? Was it a man or a woman? Do we know anything?
I guarantee somebody was like, "This is the motherfucker right here. This is the shit pants motherfucker that's got me ruining my trip to Spain." Somebody had to have done that because they always do. I don't know if it was a man or a woman or white. I don't know zero about the perpetrator.
How did this stay under wraps?
This is like who shot Mr. Burns.
It is, and it's going to end up being fucking some stupid answer like Maggie. I bet it's not even a big fat obese guy, which is what I would imagine.
God, that's so.
Can we see I know there's a picture of the shit trail. Can we figure out how fat they are based on the wobbling of the shit trail going up to the bathroom?
There is a video of the shit trail. When I saw the video of the shit trail, that's when I knew it was the right move to turn around because the plane has been
Zach, find a photo of the shit trail. We can't show it, I'm sure, but link it so we can look at it.
Because it's one of the planes that has a center row of seats as well, and so there's 2 aisles essentially, and so the cameraman is in one aisle walking up the aircraft filming the other aisle that's got a few seats between, and it's just more shit, and there's people have put stuff on top of the shit so you don't have to look at the shit, so there's paper towels everywhere, and like there's so much shit. It is not had a little accident here. It's you shit the whole plane, dude. You've ruined a 757.
Damn. So he by the time he got to the bathroom, he was done.
I don't know. From what I read, once he got to the bathroom, he made an even bigger mess in there.
Oh, you'd have to get the police to get me out of that bathroom after I'd gotten in there. Like I would lock myself
Everyone
in there.
Gone?
They'd
Yeah,
be
so
like,
you come
"Sir,
out
we
now."
are going to arrest you when we land the plane if you do not come out." And I'm like, "Please bag me, bag me, bag me and drag me through the airport. Tell them I'm something cooler than a shit bandit.
Tell him I spit. Tell him I spit. Give me that hood.
Tell them I'm a bio threat. Don't say what kind, please."
Dude,
Now-
he's so embarrassing.
Looking
Well,
at the trail, you can almost hear the bursts as they were walking. Perhaps they took too big of a stride, but there are definitely like paintball. It's not a stream like somebody's dumping out. I don't know, like a pesticide or something. It's like they're dropping bombs on their run up to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Dude, this picture that you linked, I know you can't show it because it's got shit. It is taking so many paper towels to cover up the small section we're looking at, and you can see a lot of shit peeking under that paper towel and that
There
one.
was so much shit.
And it's not a smattering; it's a full schmear. Like that.
That person was sick, and they must have had a lot of like a big colon or something. I couldn't poop that much. That'd be a record for me.
That's so much. Divert to Atlanta, passenger diarrhea all over.
You're muted, Kyle.
All over. Man, what a terrible day at work for we had a terrible day of vacation.
There's got to be some on the ceiling too. You think like anybody freaked out and flung it up? So you can't discount it. You can't be a cleaner and go like, well, isn't he? No, there's none on the ceiling. Like, I don't think you know that. I don't think you would. You bet your life on it? No,
I wouldn't bet my life on. And I would be alarmed to be just breathing in all of that guy's recycled shit air forever. Like that. They should drop the oxygen thing.
Yeah,
just as a courtesy at that point, honestly.
Just for fun. Like,
just
you know what? You guys wanted to see this thing go off your whole lives. Just for dealing with the shit, we're going to drop the oxygen thing.
We're going to drop the oxygen, get you a little better mood. You're breathing.
You're going to go down the slide when we get back home.
It was like all over aircraft.
That lost today.
This plane is fucked, obviously.
We're not cushion as a flotation device. You wanted to see it.
Did they give them like moccasins to walk out, like those little hospital booties or anything, so they could slide?
I doubt they did that. I bet people were walking very carefully out of this plane. That's terrible. You're right, Kyle. That is the most embarrassing poop story I can imagine. Like being locked in a plane with someone.
Yeah, you can't get away.
You're not going to fucking Cleveland. You just ruined a flight to Spain. People are so excited. They're in a good mood. And now they're not.
Do you think like Chipotle and stuff is that they have like spies trying to figure out which fast food caused this so they can disavow it as quickly as possible? Like, do you think Taco Bell and Chipotle and Arby's all have agents in the field trying to ask them who they had last so they can blame it on them?
false flag it?
Yeah.
We're removing Popeyes from the terminal after a critical accident.
I saw an awesome poop video today too, which doesn't happen very often, but here's what was happening. It looked like we were in China because everyone was Asian and they were playing basketball. Kids are playing basketball and there's an adult supervising. Just a dude watching the kids play basketball. They're maybe 8, 9. This one kid sort of skips into the square and he's going to make a layup attempt and just full on lays a turd right there on the court and just keeps skipping and hopping away like he didn't just lay a big turd. But as soon as it plops on the floor, I mean, almost immediately, a basketball comes down and hits the shit right in the middle. I mean, right bullseye. And the shit goes splat and like sprays everywhere. And the adult sees the whole thing go down. And you just watch his expression, him going, shit's exploded. That child ran away. The shit has exploded. There's shit everywhere. He sort of smiles, turns around and leaves.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He's like, I'm a volunteer coach, so I'm going home.
Kid shit, and then the ball just sprayed everywhere.
You know what would have helped a lot? Burning a candle helps with poop smells a ton.
It would, but I bet they don't allow
do that
burning
on a plane,
candles on a plane.
One day only. Smoke them if you got them. Cigarette, we're lighting up all the way fucking home. Rules off today.
Oh my God! The guy with a full pack of cigs. In that case, you're like, yeah, cigarette guy. Keep smoking. You can do it. Keep smoking.
Something about
he's got the whole pack in his mouth.
Yes.
Like if you have giant flatulent dogs, hypothetically, like a burning scented candle, it's magic against that.
Yeah. I bet those dogs are awful.
They were not prepared for that. I bet they did not have
a room.
I bet they didn't have a contingency plan, or like there was nothing in the manual for how to deal with. I bet there's like plans for a reasonable amount of shit that like a baby missed the diaper or something. But there's no way that they had a contingency plan for an adult man, not only not having the wherewithal to hold his bowels, but thinking it was a good idea to spread it about in the midst of shitting. What do you do if you start shitting your pants in the middle of a plane? Do you get up and sprint?
I mean, honestly, who knows what you do?
I take my cyanide
It's got to be the scariest thing. That's nothing's. Yeah. All right, let's get that molar out. Goodbye. I thought it was going to be something else. Huh?
I wasn't pooping, but I was on the airplane. This is like, I don't know, 10 years ago. And I got airsick. This is a problem that I sometimes run into, especially if I'm not well rested. And there's a line to the bathroom, but I know I'm going to throw up. But it's a matter of time. This is going on.
Yeah.
And I asked the line if I could go next. And they looked at me with like beads of sweat coming down my pale face. And all of them were like, yep, you to the front. So I think I'd try to pull something like that.
Have you used the bags before when you couldn't get up?
I have used those. Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh,
and the worst part of it is I feel like an imposition on the people around me. Like, everyone had to listen to me get sick. I'm worried that the bag's not airtight or something like that. It's awful.
We were on that little aircraft flying from Burlington, Vermont to Killington, Vermont, or wherever, and we were losing and gaining dozens of feet of altitude in a snowstorm, up and pulling my seat. My hand's under my seat, pulling to keep my ass in it because we're up and down like that. Mm-hmm. And somebody taps me on the shoulder. I can't hear the people behind me because the aircraft's too loud. It's a snowstorm. And I look back and they go, JJ's sick. And I'm like, I look way back through he's in the back of the plane and he's green. This little fucker looks, and he's like making faces and waving. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with him? He's got to piss and he's got to puke. 2 bags, no, 3. And I went, I'm like, the pilot has the vomit bags, and I'm like, oh, they need 3 vomit bags. He's like, is he shitting? I'm like, no, they say he's puking and pissing. He's like, let me know if he starts shitting. I shit the bags, man. And I didn't find it to be embarrassing at all. Like I didn't feel, because we were on a roll.
Yeah, I'd feel really bad for someone that happened to.
Yeah,
like that would suck.
I had the thought at some point where I was like, I can either be afraid of this or enjoy it, because whether I live and die, I don't have any control over. So let's just pretend like this is a fun little adventure. But it was kind of shaky there for a while, kind of dicey, as Brendan Schaub would say. It was a little rough. In Georgia, like in Elberton, Elberton's actually where, remember when the Georgia Guidestones got blown up and they made it a whole Illuminati thing? That's Elberton, Georgia. Right behind the Guidestones is where I used to hunt. So I'm pretty sure that's BLM land or like government land or some shit.
Did they figure out who blew up those stones?
No, they never will. That's a whole fucking dude. That's so weird that got blown up. It's probably just some asshole, but the idea that it might be something more than that is a little funny.
Closer to me, there was some guy took I think it was an AK-47, or I might just be repeating media nonsense, and shot up like the transformers and electrical distribution. And power went out in North Carolina for like a day. People died. Like a handful of people died because they needed electricity for their medical equipment.
Right.
And I assume right-wing guys, they said it was to shut down a drag show, which sounds like the work of Republicans, but they never caught him. So I don't know for sure. Now I hate it. Looks like they're getting away with it.
They caught some different people shooting transformers because it kind of caught on, because immediately they had to do a news story. Are you wondering why the entire power grid is down? Well, Turns out rifles against a transformer, no more power for the entire community.
They don't keep them in stock.
We're on
Yeah,
the lookout for people doing
but
it.
don't you?
Although it's very hard to find them. We haven't found anyone who's done it yet. We've all gotten away. And every asshole was like, fucking queers dancing in front of my kids. Give me the... And they're out blasting transformers. And a couple of them did get caught. There was a couple. I want to say a woman and a man. They got caught
Bonnie and
shooting
Clyde.
transform. The thing is, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of monetary damage that you do very quickly. So you might think you're some drunk assholes like, ha ha ha, bang, bang, bang. And it's like, that was $2 million. You're in a lot of trouble. You're in they're coming to get you, Cletus. They may have
changed.
You said, people died.
But they were so expensive that they just didn't keep replacements in stock, which is why it was so effective. They needed like days to bring in new gear.
Yeah. It's a big deal, I guess. Hopefully nobody else does stuff like that. The electricity is my favorite thing about living in the modern era. It's by far, gotta have electricity. You take
if you
my
could
electricity.
lose one utility, like which
Water,
one would you?
All right,
water?
So I'll keep the water. I keep the electricity. You take everything else.
Those are two big utilities, though.
I'm going to need internet, and I'm going to need.
I mean, if we're bargaining here, can I use my phone and just have the
Is
data?
it internet, water, and electricity? Is that the
those are the big
trilemma?
ones, right? Am I missing anything?
Because I'll take cold showers if I have to. Like if you take away my hot water, I can deal with that. If you take away my gas, okay, no, electric appliances, I suppose. But if you whittle it all the way down to one thing, it's electricity, because I need air conditioning and heat. Life without air conditioning is just excruciating in the South. Like I read that maybe 30% of households in the UK have air conditioning, only 30%, or maybe less. It's a really low number, where it's the exact opposite here. 80% of Americans have air conditioning, and so much of the United States is up in the, way higher than the UK. It's bizarre to me that you could live without it. And as soon as, I don't know, the summer rolls around, every now and then I've been without electricity, been without air conditioning. God, it's dreadful. I'm just existing. I hate it. It was my biggest fear about prison, besides rape, was that they wouldn't have good air conditioning. Because I went in like late August or something in Alabama. No. It was 102 one day. Yeah. It was so hot. I was like,
how was the AC?
The air conditioning. Better than my house, and it's 68.
Oh, that's great.
It's 68 in this room right now. There's a vent above me blowing cold air on me right now. My nipples are hard. It was better in prison. They had the biggest fucking air conditioning units you've ever seen on the roof, and they had like exposed conduit or whatever with the HVAC running through the center. Yeah, the HVAC, like huge ones, just exposed running through the unit. And you could see that they were just like, we're all getting a steady it was cold at night. It was shivery at night. You'd shiver at night. You had to cover up 2 blankets. You'd give the guy $2 so he'd hook you up with a second blanket because it was so cold at night. It went out one day. I woke up and I was sweaty. And I was like, oh no. I go out, get on the track, do a couple hours on the track. I come back. They're on the roof working on that bitch. They got not the prison staff. They've called a professional. Like he's gone up there, he's hooked on to the roof like a thing so it doesn't fall off, and they're actively fixing it. Had it going by lunch. It was amazing. I was so happy.
I wonder if there's a lot of security for which HVAC guy works on it.
Oh, so you don't get my cousin Lenny, the HVAC guy, to come in and
right?
Yeah,
you might have a friend in there, just like leave his screwdriver. I don't know.
He's got me and my boys inside the old unit, packing it up, taking it out of the prison.
If I just throw a Leatherman into the yard, do I create chaos in this prison? A phone?
If you really wanted to do that at Talladega, you could fly a drone over. They were always on the lookout for that. But moreover, you could just toss something over the fence. You could just go anything that you could toss over the fence.
They see me?
To us. Nah, they're not out there watching. They're just not out on the perimeter. Like the track would go out to the edge of the perimeter, but none of the guards were anywhere near you. They could have beaten me to death on the track, and no one would have known it.
Huh?
Until count that night. I could have been dead all day. You could be dead all day, and nobody would know because there's count in the morning and count at night. So they could kill you in the morning and stuff you in the little bath. They have like a halfway bathroom on the far end of the track. It's really just like a piss pot. They could just stuff my body in there and nobody know, But
could you throw like a pizza over the fence? Would they notice that?
I mean, you show up with pizza, they probably don't notice, but they'd sneak liquor bottles in. Like when you'd buy liquor in the black market in there, it was like, why do you just have Crown Royal? They just have a bottle of Crown. You know, I didn't see any toilet wine because they had real liquor that they were selling for like multiple dollars a shot, but it's not dollars, it's max. It's packs of mackerel. God, I'm glad I'm not. So like I said, no more acid. No more illegal because I don't want to go to prison. But if I can find a legal way to do acid in another country or something like that, I'd do that. But you don't want to get any trouble.
Can you go to Oregon? Don't they allow everything now?
Isn't it everything?
I think so, or at least decriminalized. So maybe they'll be like, hey, $200 fine for your 3 hits of acid or something.
Honestly, what I would do is I'd go to a friend's house because I know friends on like the West Coast who just do that occasionally and just go to their house and do it with them. Probably the safe way to do it. But I heard an interview with Shaq today. They were like, you don't drink, huh? He's like, yeah, I love to drink. I just don't drink in public. I don't drink around people so they can see me. My daddy told me young, you're going to have to take care of your family. If you fuck up, your mama don't eat. If you fuck up, your mama don't have a house. Don't you fuck up the money, Shaquille. He said, so I don't drink out in front of people. And it was like, damn. He went to a whole other dark place about why he doesn't drink in public. It was like, dude, I was just making
Mom doesn't have enough money now to have a couple shots while you're out? Jeez.
That's what he said. He's like, I ain't
Shaq's
fucking
done
with
very
mama.
well.
He said, I ain't fucking with
video
mama's
game.
empire. He said, I ain't fucking with mama's empire. And it is an empire.
Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of those guys have become billionaires. I think it's interesting the people in entertainment who turned that into this whole other thing. Reese Witherspoon, I learned, is a billionaire.
There's no way. What? Is she a thief or something? Like, how did that happen?
What did she do?
She is. So what she did was she started this
book club.
This book club. And you put your book on there and she features books. It's kind of like Oprah's book club, except if you want your thing on her thing, then she gets first refusals on the offers for your books. First refusal rights. So that means, hey, somebody came and they wanted to actually buy that book you liked so much, Reese. It's like, yeah, well, I get first bid. And so what they were able to do, I guess, with an algorithm is determine all the books that she now has first refusals on and just make lots of movies on them, make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had the thought at some point where I was like, I can either be afraid of this or enjoy it because whether I live and die, I don't have any control over. So let's just pretend like this is a fun little adventure. But it was kind of shaky there for a while, kind of dicey, as Brendan Schaub would say. It was a little rough.
I've never
been
had
on a
to
plane
shit
like
on a
that
plane.
too. I was just going off the coast of California from, I don't know, like Santa Barbara to San Francisco or something, like a short little flight on a little plane. And the turbulence was so bad. Like ladies' purses were hitting the ceiling on the plane and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I wasn't super sick on that one, but I was scared. I spent the whole flight trying to cover how scared I really was. I never been on a plane that
you have family with you?
No, I was by myself. I was just trying to not
be a man.
I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was a guy, he just had the vibe about him that he was a really frequent traveler, like a traveling salesman or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never been on a plane that small. And I asked him, like, is this normal? And the way he answered was like, no. No. I was like, fuck, if this guy's concerned, then we all should be.
I don't know planes, but I would say this plane had maybe 6 or 8 seats in it. And when we put the luggage in, he was weighing it. He was like, little bit on this side, little bit on that side. And then he was like, who weighs the most out of our group? And I looked around and it was like mostly women and I was like, me. And he's like, you're my co-pilot because the heaviest goes in the front.
Really?
Yeah.
I had the opposite experience.
I held the checklist.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I was on a vacation once as a kid. And we were whitewater rafting down the Grand Canyon, and you get there by helicopter that soars through the Grand Canyon, like just the thing sideways, bank and turns in the Grand Canyon. And they're like, "Who's the lightest?" And it was me. I'm like 14 or something, and 6 years from puberty. So I didn't know why they were asking, but the lightest person sat in the front, which was neat because there was glass, because you can see really well up front, but also there was glass by your feet, so you can see down and the whole scene. I was lucky to be in front.
Yeah, for sure. Front's always better. Roller coasters, everything. The only time it's not best to be in the front would be like a limo, right? Can you think of any other time you don't want to be in the front?
I think the back seat in the roller coaster is also good. I don't know what's better.
It does a different kind of inertial thing.
Yeah,
buses on school trips. Everybody was having fun on the back of the bus because the teacher wasn't back there, and when the driver goes too fast over the speed bumps on the back of the bus, you get some air.
Okay, when you're a child, the back of the bus is a great place. But now, as a man grown, was the back of the bus truly where you'd like to be?
I want to be on
next
part
to
of
the toilet. Bus. No.
Yeah, no, I haven't been on a bus since
unless you want to score. Maybe you want to score some meth. Then that's probably the place to be.
Yeah, I don't want to hang.
I don't know. I've honestly never been on one of those buses. We've got a friend that has bussed all over the goddamn country and trained, like taking trains, faster trains. I've just kind of driven and taken planes everywhere I've gone. So like those alternatives, I don't know anything about them. The idea of having a toilet in the back of the bus and me and all these degenerates are just shitting in it all day, every day on a long ass cross country thing, like that Anthony Cumia trip they had to make because his shitty ass father sold the plane tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, all the way from Cali to New Jersey on a bus. Fuck that.
Didn't Anthony say it took weeks? Like to get from,
they ran out of money
from like San Cupertino to Brooklyn. Like it's an absurd distance.
They spent what money they had on marijuana, so they just starved and got high the whole way home. Like they were kids. Then the dad again sold their plane tickets that mom had bought to get them home.
He's got great childhood stories.
Bought them bus tickets instead. Kept the difference. Piece of shit.
His dad was shockingly a bad father in some of his stories.
Anthony was like 11 or 12 in that story, and it's after his dad had bought him the whore.
Anthony, like that's one of the great O&A stories. He talks about Buzz, who was like an 18-year-old like stable prostitute, and on his 13th birthday, his dad was just like, "Here you go," and he's like, "Yeah." And so when I was 13, I fucked a prostitute named Buzz in a stable. And it's like, that was probably weird for your development.
All right, I have a couple of questions. What is a stable prostitute? This is like the horse stables is where...
Yeah.
Okay, and Buzz, this is her girl's name? Buzz?
Purportedly, yes.
Okay.
Like from Home Alone.
Yeah.
That wasn't a girl.
Buzz's girlfriend. Woof.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Good Home Alone scene. They used a fat little boy because they didn't want to hurt the girl's feelings. That's very nice. The director's
son. It's
the director's
son or his nephew. It really is. He's like, what was I going to do? Cast an ugly girl and be like, I need a picture of an ugly girl to make fun of in my movie. So I dressed my son up in a wig and a dress. And like, you'll be the ugly girl. He loved it.
That is funny.
We took some ferries around. We went to Greece last month and we took ferries from island to island thinking it would be like romantic and fun. Mm-hmm. And about 20 minutes into the first one, one guy started throwing up, which started like an avalanche of guys throwing up who were using the bathroom was like just out of reach or maybe occupied.
I read about a dating trend and I want to get your feedback on it. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right, a little 2-paragraph lay it out. This chick went on a fairly unremarkable date last winter. She and her date grabbed hot ciders at a Brooklyn bar. And when the bill came, the dude gave the bartender his credit card. Cool so far. A few days later, the guy asks for a second date. She told him, no, I'm not interested. So then he sent her a Venmo request for her drinks from the first date. I fucking love it. I don't know why, like, if there is equality now, why are guys still paying for everything, especially in this like early date? Now she's a stay-at-home mom or whatever. The situation has changed, but in this where they're just dating and she's like living on her own independently, why are guys paying for everything?
Women, see that we say that because it's funny, but women don't want equality. When you actually meet one that likes you, they're fine with all of that. The other way. They're fine with things the other way. They want to talk a big game on social media, but they're perfectly fine with you paying for the thing and them cooking and cleaning. And then like most women, like the vast majority, I'm not saying they want to be slaves or anything. They're just like, yeah, that seems like a fair exchange of goods and services. And you do this and I do that kind of thing. I don't know.
Slaves don't talk back. That's the big difference.
Or they lest they get the rod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's hilarious. Like that guy. I mean, and she's not going to pay his Venmo request, but he could get his $7. So why not?
What do you think about? All right, so here's here's something similar. So I think that's silly because that's a first date. I bought you the drink because I'm showing you that I'm the kind of guy who has $7 extra on me. This is step one. All right. So
what if she was just guzzling drinks?
It didn't work out, for whatever reason. I lose my $750. I'm not going to Venmo you. But what if we had like a 6-month relationship and I bought you like hypothetically like a $2,000 bracelet or something like that? Should I be like, hey, didn't work out, like I thought it would. I'd like that bracelet back. I think it's actually my grandmother's. Like she should turn it over, right?
She should, because she doesn't know you're lying.
You see, you should turn it back over. Give me my shit.
Give me my fucking Camaro back.
In construction, there's typically a pay-as-you-go situation, right? You finish 25% of the project, you send an invoice for 25% of the overall project. When you hit the halfway point, there's another milestone. You bill the guy for the next quarter. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, these women who are, staying at your place or whatever are doing a similar pay-as-you-go arrangement. They need to be doing whatever it is they do to earn their keep.
Yeah. He needs to send her a KPI report and tell her
KPI report.
But like in your relationship,
key performance indicators.
Like seriously, like Taylor, if you dated a girl for a year, would you ever ask for some expensive gift you'd given her back?
No, I wouldn't buy a girl a really expensive gift in the first year, more likely than not. Like,
what if it's like hypothetically, it's something you already had, like you had an extra one of, like, I don't know if you've got camera gear or something, but you're like, yeah, use mine. But she's like, oh, he gave me that. You want to get that back, huh?
Oh, fuck. You just reminded me of an old iPod that I don't have anymore that I should probably
want my camera back.
That bitch.
Had the U2 album on it. Yeah, that I don't think I would try and get it back. It was pre-YouTube.
It was a long time ago.
You know why I don't ask for it back? It's ego-driven. Because I'm the kind of baller that doesn't give a fuck about what you took from me. Like, that's where my head is. Me wanting an iPad back implies that I don't just fucking rain iPads. And that's who I aspire to be. So,
yeah, but why are you trying to impress
I don't rain iPads. I'm very cheap. I want all women to know that. Tell your friends how cheap that guy is.
Dick gives me iPads, ladies. Don't fall for that. He likes me more than you.
It's a good filtering method.
Here's from the other side. You just send him an invoice for the after dinner blowjob. Right? Here's I don't know if you can do that. Say here's a prepaid invoice for if they cash it out, right? Then you got then
you get
I'd like to file
I can turn her in for prostitution.
Yeah, I'd like to file a resolution request on this $100 that you took.
Yeah, that is pretty embarrassing to give someone a gift and then ask for it back. Very much Indian giver shit.
That's racist.
No, not according to Seinfeld.
You can't be racist against white people.
They're Indians.
True.
They're the Indian giver that was the white person. It's an insult towards the people who gave gifts and took them back, right?
You can't call white people the N-word, Woody. That's not allowed.
I'm not going to stop.
Well, yeah, you can't at the mall or the movies. But in your own home, you can say.
Sargon proved that.
My nickname for Jackie.
Yeah. Man, you do not want to hear me call my new dog over.
In fairness, his dog is black.
Oh man, it's weird.
That would be inappropriate.
It's weird hearing the dating conversation now. I haven't been back since the big Taylor fiasco that I've never gotten to talk about yet. So now Kyle's got the girlfriend and Taylor's back with the one-hander.
I'm back in the church of Kyle on the dating apps, and he's not even here to be my shepherd.
I don't think people realize what a humanitarian service Kyle and Taylor are doing in this church of Kyle, right? Like, you think they're just running through women. No. They are fostering girls. They are just loving them now until they find their forever homes down the road.
Oh.
Forever homes. That was Kyle's look of absolute just disgust.
He's not. I've never been on the show before, but it's pretty funny. You guys, what was your name?
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. After I got divorced, I was like, "Damn it, Kyle and Dick were right." Like, nobody in my life other than Kyle and Dick responded to that news with like don't do it. Especially Dick. Dick was like, no, brother, get away.
What a horrible mistake you're making.
He was like, it's a legal contract that's not gonna that can't help you. Like,
Yeah.
It's like
all the things you need are not in that contract. Don't sign it.
Yes. Well, you win some, you lose some.
Now, some people only have to learn this lesson once, Taylor. It could be you. You might be one of these lucky men.
I'm such an idiot. Like,
So, let me tell you what you do next time, Taylor.
You look happier, though. You look so much happier. Last time, you looked so thinking about your house and stuff and beaten down. Look at you now.
A lot of stress. Yes.
Your head looks smaller.
Better now. Yeah, I lost a bunch of weight again. You got to be fit when you're out in the market again. You can't be a big fat fuck.
Wow.
I think
You're talking about hockey less.
From the outside, Taylor. From the outside.
Damn, that was. Whoa.
Your divorce looked tame from the outside. Like the finance stuff seemed to get settled without a lot of drama by comparison to other divorces.
100%. It was really easy as far like a total rinky-dink divorce as far as.
Were there
like,
screaming matches
go.
on the? I used to work with a guy who got divorced, and cubes don't give much privacy. Oh my god, he would just like. How often do you scream as loud as you can scream?
never.
Not him. And this guy was chill as fuck. But he was driven to wit's end by this divorce.
Yeah,
Let me
the
ask
only
you
time
this.
I yell is like during this
Could you
show.
ever hear him like he gets off the phone? That's the goddamn last time, Judith. The last time I speak to you. It's settled now. God. And he hangs up. And could you hear him?
It wasn't far from that. Yeah, like you just don't hear people. I was gonna say men, but both men and women scream as loud as they can scream. That's not a common thing.
No, thank God that was not something we did. It was cordial the whole time. Like as far as divorces go, easy as shit. Like, but like I was like Mr. Stress.
Rather the officiating. Look, there's no reason to have any official paperwork. I got a guy, Taylor. He's going to print some very official looking paperwork out with everyone's names on it. I'll be your witness. Father Kyle here. Nobody knows me. I'll put you've seen, I've got that old priest robe, right?
I like
You've
this.
seen my costume.
I'll
gray the hair up. I'll come in. I'll use a cane. I'll put a whole Johnny Knoxville face on. I marry you. I officiate. I got the forged paperwork. Then when it's divorce time, it's like, oh, guess what? You just got punked. You know?
Ashton Kutcher comes out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
because
maybe
none of this was real.
Maybe having my friends marry me like as a bit isn't a good idea because one of my good buddies married me the first time because he was like, we were just like afterward, he was like, I'm a minister, and I'm like, dude, that's hilarious. The same guy who told the story of the, oh man, is it bad? Like who like watched that woman fall down and like break her leg. That's one of my close buddies. He married us because he was like, I'm still a minister, and I was like, that's hilarious. Do it for us. So. Yeah, next time I'll double down on that approach. And Kyle, you can absolutely dress up and pretend to be a priest. And
yeah. I'll do the voice from.
I think I may have. I think I may be.
Bride.
Yeah.
You remember the Princess Bride wedding? Marriage. What
Just
brings us together today?
Yeah, women would love having that day made a total mockery.
I don't even think you're needed for this bit, Taylor. Kyle could just do it himself.
when Kyle eventually gets married, which I don't think will happen. Yeah, that was. I'm the fucking dummy that had to go through it. But yeah, I should have listened to.
I'll take a stroke right before that and make sure she leaves me. And I'm sorry, but I can't be the man I promised I would be.
Fake a stroke.
Yeah. Stroke out. I've been practicing stroke victim face for like 8 months now in preparation for the proposal. I'm sorry, I can't be the man that you need.
What are some activities that increase strokes? You have to start like doing them before the date you plan on faking your stroke. So when she goes to the doctor, he recently started smoking.
My blood pressure is off the charts.
You need a blood dope, but way too much. Like just a few.
I have to give blood, or I get too many red blood cells. It honestly is a problem. So You're already halfway there, so I've got excuses.
Laying the framework right now. Very smart.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like
you got to have an exit door, my friend, a parachute, if you will. When Woody goes up there and does that nonsense, he don't raw dog it. He's got not one but two parachutes. He's got an altimeter on his wrist. Take precautions.
Yeah,
condoms not enough.
Yeah, and condoms. Who's got the time?
Right?
Yeah. Who's got the time to in the middle of the throes of passion?
If you had gotten on the roids,
they do make me last
when
longer.
I told you to, you wouldn't have any swimmers, and you would have frozen your seed long ago, and you'd have it in like a cryogenic little pod, and you could break it out. It'd be such a cool talking piece. You'd be like, "Are you ever going to have children?" You'd be like, "How funny you bring it up. Let me show you my prime boys." All right, they've took 80 loads of my cum, and they found the 5 best swimmers. That's the 5 best swimmers out of 800 billion possible sperm. And these are my boys right here. And you got them frozen. And if you ever want to put them in somebody, you got them there ready to go. Yeah. But meanwhile, you're on the juice. You don't make sperm, and you're ripped. You're huge.
You think I should get on
so big if you started testosterone right now, you would turn it. You would look like Dave Bautista. I'm not even kidding.
Women love Dave Bautista.
I'm talking about you be that big. You wouldn't turn into an ugly old man.
The Cabbage Patch head.
But from Guardians of the Galaxy, where he's blue,
I'm saying
with tattoos all over.
You would be pro athlete big. You would be pro athlete yoked. Don't show his face.
Yeah.
So he looks like
because his head looks like a penis, so they love that.
He looks like if you cast a spell to turn a Lego man into a person.
It's like Mr. Potato Head came to life. Look, all right, he's 50 something. He's 54.
He looks like Slender Man on steroids.
He's
there.
You
go.
There.
You could literally look like that in a year with testosterone. I'm not no exaggeration at all.
That's some
you would be that big in a year because you're already very big.
Maybe I will. I feel like I've got some natural potential to unlock just with having a good diet. But maybe eventually I'll get
always with the natural potential.
Kyle, don't you think that much muscle would actually hurt you in the dating scene?
Well, I wouldn't suggest that he, maybe go this far because I think the prime body is more, isn't that big. But I'm just saying, I know Taylor would like to be colossal.
It would be fun.
He's into that sort of thing.
And also, think of all the compliments from guys. You just be getting compliments from guys when you get that big. Because a woman isn't looking at that. She doesn't look at Dave Bautista and go, look at the countless hours to build those arms and pecs and everything. But a guy does, and he's wanting to come over and talk to you at the gym.
Motorcycles do that too.
I'm home gym master race. But.
You go to the gas station to fill up your bike. Guys always want to talk to you. It happens every time.
Yeah,
that's how a lot
for
of
sure.
Stuff goes.
Lots of things are like that, and that's okay though. Because I like when guys come up too. And they're like, oh, what is this? What is that? It's finally somebody I can talk to that actually appreciates this thing that I like. It's nice to find somebody who appreciates cool shit too. And then suck their dicks, at a Denny's or something. And
I was gonna say, I like anal sex.
You go in the bathroom, you come out. Who's to say what happened in there?
You are. You'll always know.
Motorcycle trip. I'm looking to use the bathroom. I knock on the door at the gas station. It's busy, right? Can't get in. All right, fine. I just work my way through the aisles, pretending to shop as I wait for the bathroom to empty. And then 2 guys come out. 2 guys come out, and I go in there. And the soap dispenser has spilled soap all over the floor. I'm sure they were using it as lube. And I'm and they looked at me as they came out, because I was right there. And I'm pretty sure
who uses soap.
Why did they look at you like that? What was that part?
Sort of like he's about to figure out what just
post-orgasm
went
glow.
Down. Yeah.
Woody, I know you like reality shows, so I found out about this incredible Japanese reality show that existed in the late 90s.
MXC.
I think the guy's name was Nasubi. But here's what they did. They locked him naked in a room with nothing, and they broadcast it live for 15 months. And the only way he could get food or any possessions at all was by the big pile of magazines in the room had all those mail-in sweepstakes. So he had to continuously enter mail-in sweepstakes until he'd accrued like 10,000 United States dollars. But that takes 15 months. So he was just going insane. No hair. He's got this beard. His hair's a mess. It's like Old Boy, except no like incest or craziness, right? He's going insane in this room. It's got 17 million viewers every Sunday night. It's huge. They edit it down into summaries that are played on weekdays. It's one of the bigger shows in the country, and people find the apartment that he's locked in. So they come in the middle of the night and they kidnap him out of the room. The producers do. He wakes up, whole new apartment, whole new pile of magazines. Let's go again. It was absurd. It's like, how did this actually happen? I didn't believe it had happened the first time. I was like, somebody made some shit up. But I started Googling, and yeah, it happened. It happened.
15 months?
15 months. 15 months.
Do you remember
this
what
is a
it's
long
called?
time ago?
Is it late 90s?
Late 90s. It's in the late 90s, a Japanese game show called The Contestant. It was broadcast a man being locked in a room for 15 months. He was naked, starving, and alone. He was also unaware that his life was being broadcast on national television. The show was extremely popular.
Why did he think he was there?
17 million viewers every Sunday night. He thought it was a contest.
Day 75. I am so scared.
Like, he was a Japanese comedian who had won the lottery for a show business related job, and he was challenged to stay alone, unclothed, in an apartment for the show. Susunu. Susunu. The only possessions he had were those that he'd won from the sweepstakes. He'd mail in and get the stuff from the mail order stuff. Yeah, absolutely insane. The Japanese are on such another level with their game shows. That was probably the same time we were coming up with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? Like, we went the massive, bigger than life capitalist route. They went creepy hidden camera, naked man locked in a room.
This is so much better than ours. This is way better than trivia for $1 million. Would you rather watch this trivia? Yes,
I love trivia.
Yeah, but I'd like to play trivia. I don't want to watch trivia. Like this fair. Is, and I wouldn't want to do this either. But this is at least interesting.
It's terrifying.
And I mean, he was challenged to enter until he won 1 million yen or whatever. That's $8,000.
Yeah, but you got to get. It's like $8,000 worth of free shit from the sweepstakes until he wins the show, I think was the deal. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, but prorated, that's 15 months of your life.
He said that he didn't quit because of his like Japanese spirit of determination, and also he didn't have any clothes.
And also because of the lock of the door.
How much time have you spent on this show, Taylor? When will you hit that long of time being in this room that you're in right now?
It'd be a long time to equate to 15 24-hour day or 15 months of 24-hour days. That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Especially if what you have is like free magazines. It would probably be like you'd be getting like chick tracts from religious groups and all sorts of shit like that. Like, what else are you gonna win? Sushi, seaweed. I don't know what they sell in magazines in 1998 in Japan.
Other Japanese magazines. Who knows? It could be anything. You're a very strange culture, Taylor.
Nukes really set your crazy to 11, for the next 100 years or so. Apparently,
we beat
or maybe
shit
forever.
out of them. You know why? You know why they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki with the nukes? Why they picked those two? Well, there was a weather-related event, so like I think Tokyo got called up. But the reason that Hiroshima and Nagasaki were still standing is because they saved them. They saved those cities. All the other cities were destroyed already from conventional bombing raids and firebombing raids. They saved those two to test on.
But then they didn't even, not even
the biggest L ever. Huh?
That is a huge L. I was going to say, like, that's a lot to save 2 entire cities. Like, not even, because there was one person who's like, all right, we're going to save that city. And someone was like, no, you don't test things once. Like, you test things.
They had a backup.
Batman.
So that means they had
what are we going to do with Little Boy?
That was a huge L they took. And now they've got like tentacle porn, and they're working themselves like 90 hours a week until they die at 32 years old and stuff.
I think they always did that. Well, they work themselves 90 hours a week till they die at 102.
I think they're trying to make up for like that L they took, trying to catch back up. I mean, they did in the 80s. They're still going though. It's wild. What an
And the worst part, they don't have any diversity. So it's
not a bit.
Or you could say 100% diversity.
And how do they operate?
How do they operate without all the food and music?
It's 100% diverse by the NBA Code of Diversity. Where apparently everywhere but fucking Switzerland is diverse.
Their trains aren't crashing into each other, and their airplane companies aren't going down for no reason.
That's true. They do know infrastructure.
Yeah.
They love taking care of it. They love gardens. I'd like to go to Japan. That'd be fun.
Oh, you should. It's awesome. I
think all three of you guys have been.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to go.
You went with didn't you go to Japan?
No, he went with Joe and was ringside with him when Joe mysteriously didn't lose that fight to Anthony Pettis in spectacular fashion.
Yes. Yeah.
Man,
I remember him winning that fight.
This is like a Mandela effect. I would have sworn you went to Japan.
Fight, it's been an unfortunate. I was telling my girlfriend the other day. I was like, there was this one time where me and Woody drove like 20 fucking hours to support our boy because he was going to fight in an arena in Boston, and they beat the shit out of him, and we felt so bad, and we knew he wouldn't want to see us, so we just went home. I was like, we hadn't seen him in like a year and a half, 2 years before then, and
dishonorable. We're out of here.
We saw him a little bit before
him.
We sell like wildly expensive meat.
Anti-woke sand
for every steak you buy, we burn one because fuck the environment.
Yeah,
just something like that. Yeah.
It's a gay cow
Taylor's
butcher.
Wasteful Meat Co. And
we burn the steak.
Here at Spot Company Meats, we waste an enormous amount of product because fuck the left. You know, that's what we do.
You get one steak per cow.
One steak per cow. Yeah. It's like where they shave down the whole tree into a 2x4 instead of making use of it.
Could you just surgically remove like a slice of filet mignon from a cow and then stitch him back up and he'd be okay, and then come back a few months later and it'd grown back and just get that slice out again? Could I have forever cow?
You can't do that.
This is genius. Why not, Taylor? What are you, the cow police?
Because like if I went into Kyle's thigh and removed part of his quad and then chained him back up to the radiator, like I'm not gonna have a new thigh steak in a month.
I promise not to chain any cows to radiators.
I'm gonna have
all right, Taylor, counterpoint.
Yeah.
I tore my ACL. The doctor harvests my patella tendon, right? It's like from the kneecap to your shin bone. Mm-hmm. And then he makes an ACL out of that. And he says, Woody, this thing grows back. As a matter of fact, if you tear your ACL again in 4 years, I can reharvest the same patella tendon, the same section that I removed. I'll use that to fix you, 4 years from now, or whatever it is, 5 years. I think you can regrow some quad. Just don't take too much.
What's this doctor's Yelp rating?
That's all I needed. I'm sold, Woody. That was a good argument. I think you're right. You just need to be tactful about the amount of quad you would remove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be tactful.
You couldn't do like filet mignon though, because like that's surrounding its spine, right? Like it would.
I'll be
probably
careful.
Die. Yeah. You'd have to start with
it will probably be paralyzed, which will only make the meat more tender next time we harvest.
Yeah.
He's thinking ahead.
That's terrible.
He's playing on another level.
See, this isn't a person. We're not worried about mobility or like happiness or any of that stuff. Like, will the cow be able to play tennis? Probably not. But we'll be able to go back in a year, get another maybe a ribeye next time. Maybe,
I'd rather do that than like the lab grown meat.
Well, yeah,
there's no way that's going to taste
If there's
good.
no suffering, then you can't enjoy yourself thoroughly at the table.
Why is it so much more humane to kill a cow and eat all of it than to just wound a cow repeatedly? At least the cow's alive in that situation.
You harvest the cow slowly over time. You don't go to a berry bush and say, all right, pull it up by the root. Let's take it back to camp. No, you pick a few berries off. You come back next year. Look at that, more berries.
This is how we should be growing meat.
We got used to killing the animals because our ancestors had to, but now we've got them. We can do whatever the fuck we want to them.
Yeah.
We got medical science. If we do it like the cartel does, we can inject them with amphetamines so they can't pass out from the pain, whatever we want.
Well, let's see what Google. Can you cut pieces off a cow and let it regrow for infinite food? Let's see.
No, you're gonna look that up. Fucking earthworm cow hybrid. No, you can't do that.
I'm glad you just touched on the best
Fucking
part.
look it up, Taylor.
Well, you never know. Look, some retards on Reddit are talking about it.
Let's cut Redditors off and let them regrow.
Oh, I'm down.
All right, so one thing we know for sure. All right, let's back up from cows. Let's say I've got an iguana. I cut its leg off and I eat it. It grows a new leg. I eat that one.
Not eating
Every time it grows a new
lizards.
leg, I eat it. Right? So I just need to get some iguana DNA into this cow so he'll grow back some musculature.
You could do that for an iguana tail, but I don't think they regrow other stuff.
Some like little lizards and stuff grow whole arms and stuff back. Lobsters grow everything back. Every time they molt their shell, new arms, new claws, new fucking antenna. I think they grow eyeballs back.
What?
Okay.
What are they? What are they when they molt? Like worms? What do they look like?
like-
I think
bit
there's a new
softer.
shell forming under the old shell, and the old shell's kind of sloths off and like brand
Okay.
new and fancy shell.
Okay, if that's true, then the lobster's your best idea for this so far, because you're not going to get a bunch of people eating lizards. I bet.
I just
bet
break
it.
it. I just keep breaking its claws up and eating them, and he just keeps growing them
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
If they really are regrowing those big giant lobster claws,
yeah.
that's a good idea.
Takes
I
5 years
imagine-
though.
Oh well, fuck. That's not ideal.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a
That's a
lot
long
of
time.
lobsters.
How often do you
And-
have lobster though?
Not that often.
Every-
Crab's better.
I
Yeah, if
don't
like
have a-
snow crab regrow, if you could like break off like 4
I
legs
don't
off a
even
snow
like
crab.
lobster. I
and let them
really
regrow.
wanted this to be a cow. Can we make a cow lobster hybrid so that it grows its hoofs back and
It can be whatever
I
you
just
want
have
it to be. man.
never-ending sirloin?
It worked in Jurassic Park.
Did it?
They combined like some frogs and some dinosaurs and made animals.
I think the-
And it allowed the dinosaurs to change sex like frogs do. And
I think the
that's how they
lesson of that
reproduce.
movie was that it didn't work specifically.
It worked really
Or
well.
I think that
It
maybe
worked
they
too
just took
well.
the wrong angle.
They're just unintended consequences.
worked in
There's more
Jurassic
dinosaurs
Park.
than they thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think we have different
That-
definitions of success. You're wanting to say
worked in
safe, I'm trying to get
Frankenstein,
more
you know?
dinosaurs.
You're right. I think Jurassic Park was about man's arrogance. And about
Sounds
how
good,
one guy
though.
with a goofy cane thought he
Yeah,
could
one
conquer
guy's
the-
arrogance
the
is another guy's
Jurassic.
can-do attitude. I think
He
we should
made
give it a go.
dinosaurs. I'd say the whole thing is a win.
He didn't
The
do
idea that
shit.
Jurassic-
Newman made the dinosaurs.
Jurassic.
The guy with the amber stick was basically Steve
No.
Jobs. Newman was in there
No,
with
the
his
doctor from
Barbasol
Oz
can.
made the dinosaurs. I recommend
is
Have you
fun.
been following the Burning Man thing at all?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, you're a
so
Burning
jealous.
Man natural.
I was-
Is this the one year you've not been in forever?
Yeah, like a long time. I think the second year I went was the last time it rained really bad, that was my favorite year of all of them. I love it. I loved the news coverage that was like, they have Ebola now. Now they're cannibals now. Like they ran out of water. Like, yeah, well, the festival wasn't supposed to be over until like Monday. So I'm pretty sure if they ran out of water on Friday now, then fuck them. That was their own fault.
Yeah,
Dude,
there's selfish with their water.
It
My
was great.
friend-
Did you go ahead?
made the best Burning Man videos on the internet. He does so he. I don't know how to describe him other than he's the kind of guy that belongs at Burning Man, and he flies paramotors. So he like goes up and shows it from an aerial view of all what's going on, and he also just edits, and he's real popular on Instagram and stuff.
You ever take
Professional. I'm sorry.
I get a naked chick strapped to me, take her up there. She can't get away then. Not just the implication, fucking gravity. You're in trouble.
Yeah. So anyway, he made really great videos. He's got like hundreds of thousands. He's a paramotor guy, right? So here I have his channel open. He normally pulls his popular videos are like 45,000 views, but these are getting 600,000 views because Burning Man is
Nice.
popular. Yeah.
That's great. I love the Jeeps that are like totally submerged in the mud. The people that tried to get out thinking they're 4-wheel drive Land
Harley
Rover
was
or
there.
whatever.
I like the
Harley-
ones that
Oh,
did
Harley.
get out. Like, have you seen the trucks and stuff that are pulling trailers through the mud and just looking badass?
Did they get out, or do they end up like sinking further out?
Well,
Some of them do.
They kept going for as long as the video went. It seemed.
Oh,
like,
look at that crazy silty mud.
yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
fun.
They
So
said
you
the
went, Dick?
what are those little sea creatures that you get in the bag? The sea
Fairy
monkeys. They said
shrimp.
they said the sea monkeys were all waking up because that they're all out there. So that ground is like sewage and muck and water and sea monkeys.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Didn't know the sea monkeys.
They're like krill eggs or something, right? Like
brine
some
shrimp,
sort of
right?
There's fairy
brine
shrimp out there. There's fairy shrimp eggs that are out there. It might have to get a little bit more rain for them to start hatching, but all your stuff's ruined when it starts raining there. You're just, if you don't immediately abandon it.
Can we play the video of
time.
Harley? He at Burning Man. I linked it over there. He looks like Wario, and he's clearly real drugged up. It's just a good time.
Harley?
Yeah, Harley Mortenstein, our friend,
drugs,
the large Jew.
I didn't know he did.
Doesn't sound like him.
No, like he's a professional fighter.
He looks like Wario. Don't play it in fast forward. We can't understand.
I thought that was the drugs.
It is. It is.
He's having fun. Good for Harley, having a good time. I saw him
He
goofing
didn't make
around.
it out, unfortunately.
He'll be fine. He's too tall to sink. He'll be the one head still remaining, and when they go to recover Burning Man, everyone else is sunk.
They're all under me.
So what was the first time you went to Burning Man, and how many times have you been?
Oh God, the first one was maybe 20. It was 10 years ago, maybe 2012. I don't know. I think I've been like 8 times. Usually I bring a big art piece out there, but COVID really messed it up. It made everybody real skittish about anybody else. They canceled it for 2 years, which was weird. Then because you're not supposed to give a fuck at Burning Man. It's safety third. Look at us, we're doing drugs and working with power tools. Fuck safety. But then they're like, well, COVID. We don't want anybody to get sick. Snorting something off of a guy's dick from a bag who you've never met before, that's fine. But getting a cold, no, not for young people who are all in shape. That would be the end of us.
Yeah.
So they canceled it twice, and then the guy who started it died. So they did a bunch of goofy shit like no coffee camp in the middle. I don't know. It just felt weird. Last year, they also spread it all out. There used to be a coffee shop in the middle, but I think they either stopped selling it forever or just for that year.
So help me out, because I've only seen like pictures of this thing and shit. It seems to me that you go there to do drugs and like rave and party in the desert, and there's groups there, and there's lots of like chicks that want to do drugs and fuck probably too. That's my outside looking in kind of.
Yeah, the art's really amazing on its own, even if you don't like art. So last time I went, there was an I-beam sculpture that somebody made. All the art's interactive. Like that's the whole thing, interactive and huge. There was an I-beam that somebody embedded in the ground that went up at maybe a 20-degree angle and met with another I-beam, 25, 30 feet off the ground. And people were just walking up this thing like ants. And as you got closer and closer to the peak, like the vibrations would just get insane. And you're falling on essentially concrete if you were to fall off. Like there's no net, there's nobody there. So there's just like
fun.
Yeah, it was really it was like suddenly terrifying to be on top of it. There's a lot of little things like that.
Do you go across?
Yeah. I was terrified.
Shimmy?
At the top,
on your button like shimmy.
To go over the hump, I sat down and like dog wiping its ass on the ground.
That's
to
what
go
I
over it because I'm like, I don't understand how to do this now. If I was in VR, maybe I could do it, but I know that I'm not in VR and I can't do it. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm not dying here in my underwear at Burning Man.
So true. What you just said, I know what you mean. What you mean is like, if there were no consequences of this, I'd just fucking run up and down this thing.
Yeah.
I remember, like, if you've ever seen a house before when they've got all the joists in or whatever, like the floorboards, but they haven't put the big boards on top of them, you can just kind of run along those 1.5 inch, 2 inch wide boards. I could do that all day. man, if you made falling my life, I'm not stepping foot on that.
No, I don't want to look at it.
30 feet.
I don't
is
even
so
want to
far
look at
fall.
it. Yes, when
Like, that's
deer hunting, I would be 25 feet up in the tree, 30 sometimes. I was always afraid. I was like 11, 12. It was like dark. My dad's like, hurry up, get up there. I got to go climb my tree. And I'm just like, I'm shaking. Like my every time I would like lift,
scaring the deer with your cries.
You could feel like trembles in my like wrist and my ankles and stuff, because you would make that climber stand bite in such a way that you can put your weight on it, but it would slip in the pine. So it would be like slip, 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 stick. And you're like, it feels like you're falling for a split second. And it happens
for a second. Yeah.
And it happens over and over. And you're 30 feet up in the darkness. You can't see the bottom anymore, except for he's got a little pin light shining it up at you to let
Once
you know
it sticks, it's solid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
More or less. You could still fall out of there.
You said it happens again and again. I was like, the whole time you just lose 3 inches? I guess not.
No, once you're in there pretty good. But yeah,
I'm gonna post one of the art things we brought one year. I think that's as safe for. Let me see if the picture's there. If you scroll down a little bit, you can.
I watch the video.
No, the video sucks. But the pictures are cool.
Pro?
Yeah, they did an Indiegogo. I don't know. I don't know how well that did. But there's some cool pictures of the box. It's
okay. I see.
It's a 24-foot long saltine cracker box that we served soup out of all night. So like 2 a.m. from 6 a.m. We have little ramen packets of soup and then just pour hot water.
Now let me ask, what's the demographic like here at the outside the big cracker box that you were inside of?
People who are about to freeze to death. And they're looking at us like we're Jesus Christ, serving them like a cup of medicine. Do you like in general? You mean like men versus women demographic, or
no? Is it mostly white people or?
Oh yeah. There's so many white people at Burning Man. They celebrate every single black person they see there. They have a parade for them. It's so fucking annoying because it's like the most. There's a contingent of burners who are we have to, before we say anything, we have to apologize for being on the native, like, Uyapayo land. It's so fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, that's pretty gay.
Dude, I watched a clip. I don't know what the movie is, but it's like Indian chief sits down with like the cavalry guy, and the Indian chief's like, these Black Hills were our native land and he just, the cavalry guy cuts him off. Yeah, since you took them from the Arapaho, who you murdered with our rifles. But let's not talk about how you sprang from the desert plain like Oahu says. No, because you came from the Minnesota Badlands where you raped, pillaged, and murdered. And he starts naming all the tribes they murdered out. And now here you are, chief. Old land by me, old land by God. You're going to have to fight for your land today. And I'm like, holy shit. I like this guy. I think he's the bad guy, though. I keep doing that.
That is how conquering tends to work.
When I watched Avatar, I was like, let's get this blue shit. Let's go. I want that whale brain goo, whatever makes us live forever. I saw a picture today of like what would happen if instead of those weak-ass femboys that came to invade the blue planet in Avatar, like Space Marines came, and immediately it's like, all right, we win. You just fucking kill them. The American military we have right now could absolutely kill all those blue people. You don't need Space 100%. Marines.
And I haven't seen that second movie, but they definitely could.
They're just blue people with bows and arrows, dude.
I doubt they're any more threatening than they were in the first movie. But
they're real big,
what's because you say people are like being reckless and ridiculous in Burning Man. What is, I guess, the worst you've ever seen someone injured while you've been there?
Seen someone? Somebody at my camp while we were building a stage. One year we built a TV station. So we built a huge stage, like a talk show stage and a sitcom stage, and we had a camera that broadcast everything to this tiny TV. So people would come and sit and then watch this little tiny TV. Yeah. That was the whole thing going in front of them. Mm-hmm. But as we were building it, one of the boys from Oklahoma who knows how to use power tools was holding a screw for one of the jackasses from Silver Lake down the street in California who doesn't know how to do them, and he drilled through his finger. He drilled straight through his thumb fingernail all the way through. So he had to go to the medic tent and get an
painful.
X-ray and shit.
Oh,
so they have X-ray machines on site.
Oh, they got all kinds of stuff there. They got real doctors, nurses.
What's that shit that solves OD? Like, it might start with an N.
Narcan.
Narcan, yeah. I
for
bet they've got
heroin.
lots of Narcan at Birmingham.
I don't know if they have it.
What are the drugs of choice?
That's like the most important thing to have at Burning Man.
What are
the drugs of
biggest
choice
there?
at Burning Man?
Yeah.
Same as they are everywhere else. Molly, cocaine, acid.
Okay.
Mushrooms.
Molly.
I guess you get real locked into a mushroom kick if you want. I don't touch that dirty stuff though.
Mm-mm.
No, did you have a bad
never again
experience with mushrooms at Burning Man?
It's just like too annoying to be around mushroom people. They're always talking about their like emotional breakthroughs and stuff. I'm like, man, I don't. Can you get on like a fun drug or something? Is there a drug that you don't process trauma on that you could get on? Because this is really fucking boring. I feel like I'm in a young adult novel right now.
You're just walking around trying to like give people shots of some whiskey,
Of
loosen them up a little
acid.
bit.
Yeah.
Shots of acid.
Yeah, I had a very complicated setup of dropping and then dividing up the shots. And I was like, all right, so there's 3/8 of a hit in all these. And everybody does them. And my friend goes, can you just review the math on that real quick before I drink this? I said, no, you're just going to have to, I mean.
Were you right? Or did they?
Yeah,
have
I
an
was
even
right.
better
Fuck
time?
him. Fucking question my math.
Review the math.
Question my math at Burning Man, you bitch. Putting an extra eyedropper in there for you.
Yeah.
But it was only 3/8 of a hit, though? Is that what?
3/8 of a hit of acid. Yeah, I think.
Does that mean it's a half dose, roughly? Am I
Yeah, a
understanding
little
correctly?
less. That's
Okay,
perfect, man. If you want to go to a baseball game and not spend $300 on beer and like a Dodger dog, 3/8 acid, nail it. You're not up all
What's
night.
a Dodger dog?
So if you're new to LSD, LSD's acid, right? That's
Yeah.
what you'd suggest someone take a 3/8 of a hit.
Yes, take like 10 shots and dump them in a thermos. Put one hit of acid, one little stamp or one little drop of acid in there, and then you can dose yourself with shots. Like if you want to do one shot, like 1/10, 2/10, 3/10.
Okay. Just mix it in water.
One full hit of acid, like one tab, is way too much, in my opinion, especially for first timers. It will blow your mind out of your ass for like 12 hours and make you all jittery coming down. It's too much.
I didn't get jittery, but I had a great time.
And you took a full hit, Kyle,
I took
as far as you know.
I took 5 hits of acid.
You took 5 at once.
Yeah. Well, I
So
took one and then waited an hour and then took another. And then it was like, come on, just give me the rest. Like, clearly this is a good, like I'm going to love 3. And I promise you, there's nothing I'm going to love more than 3 than fucking 4. Give me all the acid that's mine and I'm going to take it. And I took all the acid. It's great. I saw the clown's
Did you go to
face
sleep?
melt. No, I was up for at least 12 hours high as fuck. Like the moon jiggled and moved, like the clouds wiggled, faces melted on the wall and paintings and stuff, and colors were beautiful. It was wonderful. Everything was funny. Everything was so giggly funny. And we would like somebody would make a joke and you would just die laughing, like till tears are coming out of my eyes. And like it hurt to laugh more. And then an hour later, someone would say whatever the triggering word was for that joke, and you just die again. And or I would just get the giggles. For no reason. I'd just be
That's what mushrooms are like for me.
just giggling over there.
Now, I've told the story
Yeah.
a bunch of times. I took a small dose of mushrooms. It was a gram. And my friend showed up at the campfire with a really shitty chair. It was like 4 beer cans next to each other would be the equivalent of this camp chair. And he thought he was awesome, that he was going to have the only chair, and then everyone else whipped out better chairs. So we just mocked him all night long. This isn't like class A material here, right? Bill Burr is not doing his stand-up on camp chairs, but we were dying. It was the funniest fucking thing to watch him try to make a win out of that terrible chair. And it was the shrooms.
Acid's the best drug I've ever taken. It's so wonderful. I want more.
Yeah.
I need to find somewhere where it's legal.
You mentioned, Dick, like if you don't want to eat a bunch of Dodger dogs at the baseball game.
Well, because fucking
does
beers
acid makes you not eat.
The idea of eating on acid is repulsive to me. I couldn't eat I couldn't eat a
heard
tortilla
that. I didn't
chip
know
on
how
acid.
true it was. Okay.
I mean, some people can, but if you try to eat something, it's like you can kind of conceptualize the molecules getting ground up. It's just very off-putting.
Maybe it was what I ate. I ate these maple bacon donuts that were so fucking delicious that it made me appreciate the crispness of the bacon and like the maple, like whatever the maple stuff on top was like really well made. It didn't taste like just pure cane sugar. It was just everything was good. And I was like, these are the best donuts ever, right? And my buddy's like, this is the best donut I've ever had. I'm like, are you allowed to eat bacon? Aren't you a Muslim? And he's like, fuck it. Like, it was that good. It was so fucking good. Acid is by far the best drug ever that I've ever taken. I would like to do acid like 2 or 3 times a year for sure, but I don't know where to get it, and I don't want to go back to prison because that's no fun. That's like the opposite of acid.
Do they even care about acid, or is it just
they care about me?
Oh yeah, well yeah.
It doesn't matter if they care about acid. Don't do anything. Drive the fucking speed limit. Is it?
That sucks.
Anything but that.
I found it really interesting to see the celebrities and that they didn't even have any way to get out of Burning Man. I think Chris Rock made it out of there in a fan's truck. like they just everybody was stuck. I think people still are. Like Chris Rock made it out of there, but I think there's tens of thousands of people stuck in the mud right now, right?
It
It's
could
not
be
muddy
Now,
anymore.
Wednesday?
People are driving out fine. It's just a traffic jam.
Oh,
I know this.
Yeah,
my friends. I have a friend on.
so it didn't turn into the
Messenger.
Superdome.
It just
What a
dried
climb.
out really quickly, like overnight. Not mud anymore.
Yeah. Remember the Superdome when it became like
Oh,
rape
it's
gangs
sewage.
and sewage? Yeah, it took a day to turn into Mad Max in fucking New Orleans. A day.
No, Burning Man is more like, wow, we have everything that you could possibly want. Come over here, and we're cooking a pig in a box. If you
It
want
seemed like
some.
they were stranded in a place where they planned on being stranded anyway. Like there's food, there's medical supplies, there's water. It's not quite the same as other catastrophes.
Well, there was nowhere to shit and pee because they couldn't empty the porta potties, and I think they do that every day.
They do that twice a day. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
You can time them so you can go
quickly,
shit there.
There was nowhere to poop because they were overfilling. And
Or everywhere.
70,000. There you go. 70,000 people. And then it doesn't take long for disease to happen, like it's the medieval times or some shit.
Cholera.
Right? Yeah, or E. coli, like something like that. If we're just walking in shit with wounds in our feet or something, and I don't see a lot of footwear at those things, or at least not a lot of torrential rain, mud, shit walking appropriate footwear. A lot of Crocs and.
It'd be pretty neat if you were the guy though that could go places. Like I happen to get here on dirt bike or paramotor or 4-wheel drive truck in some cases. Like people who
jetpack.
You're gonna need a jetpack. You can hydroplane around pretty good. Barefoot's definitely the best way.
What?
Snowshoes.
Barefoot doesn't appeal to me in the land of poop and mud.
Well, you got 5 or 7 square miles there. The poop is probably going to be sequestered to the immediate vicinity of the outhouses.
You overestimate me. This is a common
poop where I like. Tell me.
That'd have to be fast-moving poop.
I knew that they were going to get it solved quickly because of the kind of people that were there. It's weird to me that there isn't an East Coast Burning Man that's more like Tennessee. That's where it would make sense. Like a redneck jamboree Burning Man. That's like the same thing, like a Bonnaroo type thing, but like bigger.
I don't know why they don't get that big out there on the East Coast. There's a couple cool festivals. God, I forget the name of my friends at Format right now. I don't know why they don't get that big out there. It's probably because it's so close to LA.
Lands?
Yeah, it's on BLM. They got to give BLM.
See, we don't have
$5 million bucks.
We could maybe have some landowner. Do we have?
We have San Francisco. That's a big
the thing about
part
that
of
is
it.
it's that salt plain, right? So you don't have to do anything to it. Like our BLM land is forest.